say float something, I am calling it as amount. So whenever I am calling amount in that particular program, whenever I am calling the data type amount, it is nothing but it is used in alias with the float data type. Likewise, in structures also you can use the enumerated data type. Here what I am doing is, I am writing the keyword type def and then struct, this is also a keyword, and small c I am using for writing the country. Then character name, it is an array, then int population, then language. So here I am giving the country, struct country, struct keyword and then country. Instead of struct country, I am calling it, I am renaming that particular thing with a alias name called as COUNTRY. Anything you can give here, and afterwards whenever you want to call or whenever you want to declare some variables of the structure, you have to write only the name that we had given over here. Then no need of writing struct country, but you can write directly country, Mexico, Canada, Brazil. So within this particular program, whenever I am starting C capital letter and I am writing country, that itself defines that this is the struct country. This is nothing but an alias name given to struct country. So for use of those alias names, we can use the keyword called as type def, then write the struct keyword, then give the name of the thing, and then put some sort of alias name so that we can call by using the, even whenever you are trying to use the data structures, like whenever you are using the linked list, etc., the stack, the queue, there also you will be directly giving the type def. Suppose if you want to have certain node in a linked list, then what you will be doing, the information that is there, and there will be one pointer. So both of them you club together as the data items or the members of the structure, and then you will give some sort of a name called as a node. Struct node is being called as some sort of list. So that particular, whenever I am calling a list, then obviously it is nothing but a struct node. So in this way I can use that list and I can derive as many variables as I want using that particular list. So in this way we can use the type def in order to give the alias names. So how to access the members of a structure? So there are, one thing is, for each and every structure it contains one or more members. So in order to access those members, one thing is we have the structure tag, and the other thing is we have the structure tag, and the other thing we are having the structure variables. So whenever we are trying to access the members of the structure, we have to use the structure variables name, like stud1, whatever I had declared in the earlier case. Then I have to put a dot operator, and then I have to write the member name. Like here in the example, the syntax, look here, the syntax is structure variable like stud1 or stud2, then you have to place one dot operator, dot operator, and then you have to write the complete member name. Suppose if you want to initialize, you can initialize over here. Suppose if you want to provide any value, you can provide the value. Suppose if the value is to be taken from the user, then also you can take the value by placing by accessing the structure member by placing structure variable dot member name. Let us see an example here. Here x and y are the coordinates. First and second are the structure variables. So coordinate, here I have placed struct coordinate. Struct is the keyword. Coordinate here is the name given to that particular structure. So that particular structure, coordinate structure, consists of one x value and one y value, and those both x and y values are of integers. So these two, first and second, are the variables, structure variables, wherein which, suppose if I want to initialize some value to the variables, then I have to give first dot x. So for first variable, structure variable, I will be having x data member as well as y data member. Like suppose for the second structure variable, second also, I will be having one x value, one y value. Suppose if I have another structure variable called as third, for the third structure variable, I will be having an x member and then a y member. So for each and every variable, structure variable, whatever I am declaring, for all the structure variables, they will be having corresponding data members like structure members also. So those values I need to be initialized. So those can be done by taking the data from the user, or else those can be done by taking the values directly in the programming. Suppose there is an instance wherein which in this program I am taking the direct values. First dot x is equal to 50, first dot y is equal to 100, second dot x is equal to 35, likewise second dot y is equal to 58. Here I am directly initializing the values by placing it inside the program. So let us see a complete program here by using a structure. Please show the slide. Here I am declaring one structure called as student structure, int roll number, character name, course is a array, then integers, marks obtained. So here I am declaring the structure. Then I am taking one s1 as the structure variable. So this is called s1 is the structure variable. Suppose if I want to access or if I want to store the values for these members of the structure, I have to have s1 dot roll number, s1 dot name, likewise s1 dot course and s1 dot marks obtained. So here one printf statement is solving the purpose of entering, prompting the user to enter the value, and one scanf statement I had written over here, so that whatever the value that is been given by the user, I am trying to take into the program. Likewise, look here I am using the dot operator, ampersand, s1 is the structure variable and this is the member of the structure. Likewise, for name also I am capturing directly by using the string, the %s. Likewise for s1 dot course, likewise I am accepting the values from the user for all the 4 members of the structure here. Then the data entry is complete, and then whatever that I had taken the values from the user, I am trying to display the same to the user. So this is a kind of program to illustrate you the use of the structures in the program, C programming. Then comes the initializing structures. So whenever we are trying to call initializing the structure is nothing but there will be several members in the structure. Suppose the member may be ranging from 1 to n. So for each and every member, structure member, we have to provide the values. The provision of that particular value is nothing but we are initializing the structure variable. So some of the members we can initialize directly within the program, some we may take from the user, or else all the values we can take, like we have the practice of taking from the users. Likewise we can take the values from the users for the structures also. So here is one example I had given, structure sale, then I had given one character array customer, item, then float amount. So there are 3 members in the structure sale. Then I had declared one variable called as my sale, and I am trying to initialize this particular structure variable by giving XYZ industries for the customers, and then item toolkit is the item and 600 is the amount. So here directly I am giving the structure like a syntax, this is the blueprint, and then directly I am declaring one variable associated with the sales structure, and I am providing the values for the members of the my sale. So suppose if you have 2 variables, directly you can give the 2 values for the 2 variables also by giving my sale, and then suppose if the other variable, structure variable is my sale 1, my sale 1 is equal to, likewise you can provide all the 3 values for the data members, and you can close by keeping the right braces and then semicolon. Likewise we can initialize the structure, just like variables we declare and we initialize, int I is equal to 3, likewise we can initialize the structures also. So let us come to the next, nested structures. Nested structures is nothing but, suppose if there is a context wherein which one of the variable, once again one of the member is a structure, one of the member itself is a structure. Till now we have discussed the examples by having one structure, and then associated with that particular structure there are several members of that particular structures with the 4 basic data types like the integer, the character, float, double. Right now we are having a context or situation wherein which one of the data members, one of the members of the structure itself is a structure. So there lies the difference. So look here, there is a structure called as customer, then struct customer, then firm. These 2 are the members of the structure. and then here we have a sale as a structure. Then here struct customer buyer 1, character item, float amount. Look here, one of the member of the sale structure is nothing but once again a structure itself. In the top of the page I had declared one customer structure, and in the next I had declared one sales structure, wherein which the customer structure itself is the member for this second one. So these are called as nested structures. A structure is there, and within that particular structure, sales structure, a customer structure is also included. So these types of structures are called as the nested structures. So here whenever I am trying to retrieve, whenever I am trying to initialize the customer thing, like here I want to initialize my sale. My sale is the variable of sale. My sale is the structure variable for the sale structure. So here my sale, whenever I want to initialize, look here, for customer I have to take two fields. One is the firm field and one is the contact information field. So XYZ is the firm name and then Adams is the contact person. Like for this particular structure I have two variables to be initialized. That's why I had initialized within double quotes XYZ Industries and Adams. So that solves the structure for this customer, and later on I have item, like toolkit is the item, within double quotes I had introduced, and then amount is 600 rupees. So in this way I had to initialize for the next structures. For the ordinary structures it is the direct way, wherein which I can use the dot operator and I can use. For the nested structure I have to use the thing dot operator. Like for the first thing I have to use one single dot, and for the next thing I have to substructure I have to use the next dot. So these statements performs the following initializations. My sale dot buyer 1 dot firm. Look here, my sale is the structure variable for sales structure, but once again my sale is the structure variable for the sales structure, wherein which customer is one of the member and customer is nothing but once again a structure. So what I have to write is my sale dot sale dot firm. Likewise look here, my sale dot buyer 1 dot firm. Buyer 1 is nothing but this is the variable I want to initialize. Likewise my sale dot buyer 1 dot contact. This is for the second one. Like my sale dot item. Like suppose buyer 1 is the variable name, my sale dot buyer 1, my sale dot buyer 1 dot firm, my sale dot buyer 1 dot contact, and then my sale dot item, then my sale dot amount. In this way I have to initialize all the 4 items in the nested structures. So next comes structures as function arguments. So whenever I am trying to say the function argument,